داعمة مهمة للعصابات الإرهابية في سبيل تقويض السلم الأهلي الموجود في المنطقة ولاستخدامها لأغراضها السياسية فقط وليس لأغراض حرية الرأي أو الدفاع عن حرية الرأي. الأمر الآخر والموجود حتى الآن للأسف هو أن هناك دعم لقنوات إعلامية في مثلا تركيا، دعم بالملايين فقط لأن هذه المنظمات تناهض مثلا مصر، تناهض المصالح المصرية. المشكلة الأساسية أن قطر كل أجندتها الإعلامية موجهة لدعم المنظمات المتصلة بالإرهاب يعني المصنفة إرهابيا في دول عربية عديدة لخدمة الأجندة السياسية ليست لقطر فقط بل لكاره الدول العربية. شكرا.
Thank you, Dr. Khamisi. Now, for your intervention, we have only 10 minutes for each intervention to have enough time to open the floor for the discussion. Our second speaker, Madame Carla Kijouyan, she is Lebanese Armenian, works at the World Council of Churches. As a responsible for the Middle East programs, she has a master's in social science from Lebanon and is currently studying a postgraduate degree in religion and global governance at the Geneva University. She is mainly interested in religious and cultural diversity in the Middle East. Madame Carla, the floor is yours.
Thank you. I also want to thank the Ecumenical Alliance and the Arab Federation for opening these spaces for discussion and highlighting the important issues for the Middle East today. Let us very briefly discuss what is media and what makes news. Anything that is deviation from the norm, so violation of human rights, acts of terror, everything that is unexpected, that is previously unknown, we see it in media. And what is the role of media? It is to report, to tell the truth, a guardian of free speech and the cornerstone of any democracy. So we know that media is very closely related to democracy. How can media do that? By researching, interviewing, investigating, contextualizing, and following stories. So through these criteria, we can see that media is defined as an objective tool and a scientific tool, a scientific approach. Is this the case of Arabic media? Can we say this about Arabic media? Let's take a look on that. The interest in Arabic media in general is nothing new. But the 11 September events, 11 September 2011 attacks in the United States, heightened and broadened publicly stated interest in relation to the public opinion in Arabic media, and more generally in Islamic countries. It was interesting to study, for example, the representations of the Arabic world in the Western media and how Western world is represented in Arabic media. During the Anglo-American intervention in Iraq in 2003, the question became critically important inasmuch as interpretations in the Arabic media could influence the level of support of Middle Eastern populations for Anglo-American policy in Iraq. We can see from the beginning, actually, that Arabic media stations carried an influential mission and a political message. The media in Arab countries were under very strict state control. So they have been directly dominated either by the state or by power politics within the political elite. And their owners were agents or maybe agents of the state. A study of media in Iraq has shown that before the 2003 invasion, most press information originated, with only one exception, a newspaper owned by Saddam Hussein's son, Uday, from press releases from the official press agency. So there was only one source of news, and it came from the official press agency. Nevertheless, the situation changed profoundly over the last 10 years as the creation of new transnational media, and especially satellite television channels, has lessened the possibility for states to control information and opinions. So transnational media, however, can be a two-sided weapon and a very dangerous means of promoting radicalism while pretending to report on human rights violations. Let us take a concrete example. After its conception, Al Jazeera has had to prove itself and prove its potential in the Arab world and beyond. So the channel broadcasted certain images that the Western media of reference like CNN and the BBC had refused. While his ability to obtain exclusive recordings of Osama bin Laden, like my colleague here mentioned, and Al-Qaeda, is one of the building blocks of his popularity, the channel has also played an important role in increasing the popularity of Osama bin Laden and of his group. Before September 11, the latter were known only to a part of the Arab world and the minority of the Western elite, composed of politicians, journalists, and secret services. This event and Al-Qaeda footprints have made Osama bin Laden one of the world's most famous faces, and the media's attention to Al-Qaeda was unprecedented. It should be noted that the leaders of this movement dreamed of a channel of expression in the Arab media, which would not have been possible without Al Jazeera's assistance. In a region where the media is watching a policy of total censorship of Islamic groups, moderate or radical, it was unthinkable to accept the fierce speeches of Osama bin Laden and Ayman Zawahiri, his deputy, broadcast on all world. Undoubtedly, Osama bin Laden and Al-Qaeda were a great contribution to the channel, whose popularity exploded after 9/11, both in the Arab world and in the diaspora. The same concept applies today to Daesh, al-Nusra, etc. If some media channels, including Al Jazeera, do not show specific images of terror and promote them, then these groups will not reach such a big number of telespectators only through social media. So media can be an agent of peace as well as an agent of conflict. It can be an agent of communication as well as an agent of division. It depends on who is financing this media and what is the political message or the objective of use of this media. Unfortunately, we need an educated public to be able to choose and judge, which is not always the case. Furthermore, another question that we do not always tackle or discuss or reflect upon, the growth of transnational Arabic media raises the question of their impact on the Arabic and/or Islamic diasporas, particularly in Western countries. If immigration and media are dominant forces in globalization, then the use of these media by these populations is of particular importance. If we take, for instance, the case of France, terrorist networks use videos made by suicide bombers and broadcast them on transnational media to influence populations. We have all seen and witnessed this phenomenon. Investigating their influence on French populations with a migrant background, a researcher, Mr. Kamel Hamidou, shows that their use of Arabic transnational media is inversely proportional to their subjective degree of integration in the host society. I don't want to conclude on a very negative image saying media is only bad and only negative and is only promoting terrorism, etc. We have to acknowledge that media is important in forming democracies. So to conclude, we should acknowledge that communication technologies have brought about major transformations in the Arab countries, a development conducive to the progression of sophisticated media currents. These developments have provided the public with a diversity and undeniable access to interactivity. A public sphere is being formed. Jürgen Habermas, a German sociologist, considers that by public sphere, we mean a social world in which everything related to opinion can be formed. Access is guaranteed to all citizens. A part of the public sphere is forged during conversations during which individuals gather. Citizens behave as an institution within which they communicate without any restriction. However, in traditional societies, the public sphere developed in relation to the state, and technology has made it possible to broaden the debate to the international dimension. Within this process, or through this process, the internet and television play necessarily key roles and pave the way through democratic societies based on human rights. Thank you.